what do we have here? U.S. judge orders shutdown of Trump's Alligator Alcatraz detention center. That's so fucking funny that barely thrown together shithole called Alligator Auschwitz is already being ordered to be shut down. Keep in mind, literally as soon as Alligator Auschwitz was put up, there was a fucking flood in Alligator Auschwitz. It's so fucking stupid. And that was from a fucking light rain, dude. Like, it immediately filled up with fucking water, dude. And you want me to fucking believe that this is like suitable for fucking migrants and shit like that? When this is like the easiest fucking vector of disease. But then again, that's the point. They're okay with like migrants dying to fucking preventable diseases because, again, like I said before, with this stupid fucking I don't know, monument to fascism, this concentration camp. The point of it is to just have the fucking cruelty. Like, look at this fucking shit. Like, these are fucking like conditions that you think are conducive to detaining migrants for like a short period of, even like a short period of time, because they're going to keep them in there for longer, because again, the point of this is the fucking cruelty, right? Like, we can all fucking acknowledge this, right? They just want people to fucking suffer. That's it. Like, they're quite literally. So again, like, do people really believe that this is going to be conducive to effective, healthy fucking outcomes? Because again, even though they're prisoners, you still have to treat them like fucking human beings. They still have human rights. That's how that fucking works. But, you know, again, cruelty is the point, and they just want people to suffer. Like, there was even people saying that there's maggots in the food that they're being given, barely, and even, like, barely enough stuff. We've seen all the testimonies by the Democratic lawmakers that went in there. It's complete fucking nonsense. Again, the point is just, whoa, crazy, the cruelty. They just want to be cruel. That's the point. Much of the president's controversial Alligator Auschwitz migrant detention center in Florida must be dismantled and no more migrants should be taken in there, a judge ruled. The ruling stated that the facility was causing severe environmental damage to the Florida Everglades, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Very, very cool. So it's illegal. It's illegal based off of international law. Gave the Trump administration 60 days to wind down its operations. Judge used a preliminary injunction, which temporarily restricts operations at the facility while a lawsuit brought by environmental groups against it is heard. Whoa. Again, you know what? Like, listen, we talked about the Supreme Court trying to stop preliminary fucking injunctions to begin with. This is one of the reasons as to why Trump wanted the injunctions to be stopped as much as possible, because he doesn't want a bunch of fucking judges to be like, no, fuck off with all this fucking bullshit. Like, you can't do this. This is blatantly illegal, and we need people to fucking send in lawsuits. This can be fucking litigated. Like, get the fuck out of here with this bullshit. State of Florida, partnering with the Trump administration building the site, has already filed an appeal, of course, because again, Ron DeSanctimonious, little fucking meatball Ron, little meatball boy, basically just wants to go ahead and be like a little fucking toady and stooge as much as he fucking can. That, you know, like that sentient pile of meat. 82-page ruling said no more detainees could be brought to the center, and it prohibited any new construction work or expansion at the site. It's a major legal blow to Trump's plans for the center, which has attracted widespread criticism for allegedly harsh conditions. Allegedly. Yeah, allegedly. Totally. And potential harm to the local ecosystem. In Thursday's ruling, District Court Judge Kathleen Williams, an appointee of former President Barack Obama. I can't believe it's another Barack Hussein Obama judge. Unbelievable. It said the facility was causing irreparable harm to the Florida Everglades and its endangered species. And you think the Republicans give a fuck about environmentalism? Funny. Also ordered a shutdown of all generators, gas, sewage, and other waste receptors. Judge Williams cited a 1960s plan to build a tourist airport in the Everglades that was rejected due to fears of environmental harms that could cause. Since that time, every Florida governor, senator, and countless local and national political figures, including presidents, have publicly pledged their unequivocal support for the restoration, conservation, and protection of the Everglades. I have bad news for you. Trump doesn't care about any of that stuff. Well, you think he cares? You think he gives a shit about environmentalism? Hilarious. Or does nothing more than uphold the basic requirements of legislation designed to fulfill those promises. Environmental groups that mounted the legal challenge welcomed the ruling. Landmark victory for the Everglades and countless Americans who believe this imperiled wilderness should be protected, not exploited. It sends a clear message that environmental laws must be respected by leaders at the highest levels of government, and there are consequences for ignoring them. Oh yeah, that's when he visited and did his little LARP tour. So Thursday's decision comes after Judge Williams' earlier issue of a temporary restraining order, which ordered the pause of construction at the site. Alligator Alcatraz was built as a centerpiece of the Trump administration's crackdown on illegal immigration. Built in the middle of a Miami swamp, its name comes from the wildlife of alligators, crocodiles, and pythons in the surrounding wetlands, which Trump said would keep detainees from escaping. Again, as I've mentioned yet again, the point is the fucking cruelty, which is really funny because Alligator Alcatraz was also slated to have about 400 fucking staff monitoring the fucking facility, which, again, you would think that they would cut down on the staff necessary to, have at the fucking facility if they think detainees are not going to escape because of all the alligators and pythons and shit. I thought they weren't gonna fucking escape. What do you mean? That's a little suspicious. Designed to hold 3,000 detainees and touted as a model for future detention centers. Ah, yes. More concentration camps. During a visit in July, praised its potential for holding the most menacing migrants, some of the most vicious people on the planet. A lot of them tended to be American fucking citizens who didn't really have any criminal record, and if they did, it was mostly for minor fucking infractions. Because of Stephen Miller, the Nazi, who wanted to have a Gestapo quota system for ICE to try to detain and get rid of as many people as possible. Because, again, Stephen Miller is a fucking Nazi. But since starting operation, the site has been the subject of multiple lawsuits and complaints by environmental campaigners and local residents. Experts previously warned the damage to area wetlands and endangered species could undo Florida's massive efforts to restore the Everglades, which has cost the state billions of dollars. Sorry, we don't care about environmentalism. But what's this? What's this video?
The detention facility in the Florida Everglades that has become a symbol of the Trump administration crackdown on migrants, it is effectively being shut down by a judge's order. Lisa Shing is in Washington with more on what the judge is saying about what's become known, Lisa, as Alligator Alcatraz.
Heather, Alligator Alcatraz is really a key piece in Trump's immigration crackdown efforts. This particular migrant detention camp is located in an isolated airstrip by the Florida Everglades, and it's been mired in controversy since it opened at the beginning of July, about a month ago, or a couple of months ago. When Trump toured the facility, he suggested he'd like to see similar facilities, similar centers in other states, but now a federal judge has decided it can no longer take any more detainees and ordered any infrastructure added to the site removed because they've been quickly trying to expand it, and that means removing lighting, fencing, generators. So while an outright closure hasn't been ordered, it's not really clear how this facility will be able to continue to operate without these resources. So this decision comes after...
I'm assuming they're probably not going ahead with an outright closure, because if they were to try to go ahead with an... this is probably a kind of a workaround where it is the Lisa is over here saying the point of it is to try to make it... to annul it and make it as ineffective as fucking possible. And then eventually go ahead with its fucking deconstruction, is my assumption here.
Environmental groups and various tribes in the area filed a lawsuit. They were worried about the impact of this center on the environment. It alleged the facility was built without the proper environmental reviews that were needed and without consultation with the public. So have a listen to the lawyer for the tribes on this.
She's heard all of our witnesses. She's heard the state's one witness who admitted on the stand that they only looked at one site. And there are plenty of sites with runways and with facilities and with wells in the ground that could have supported something like this.
So they've called the judge's decision a major victory for the state's wildlife and fragile ecosystems. Meanwhile, the state of Florida has already appealed this.
Another development today, Lisa, that you should tell us about is the Trump administration's crackdown on immigration. What is it reviewing now?
Yeah, this piece, a major expansion of the Trump administration's efforts to crack down on what they're calling abuses of the immigration system. And so part of that is it's reviewing all 55 million visas.
By the way, abuses of the immigration system. Well, you're brown in America. That means you probably are abusing the immigration system. Again, there have been Republicans advocating for deporting about 66 million migrants. Keep in mind, do you want to know how many Hispanic people live within the United States of America? About 66 million. They want to get rid of all of them. The point is to try to get rid of all of them. Don't know how they're going to fucking do that, considering how much of a rank shit show it's been with even the few people that they have currently deported and have been forced to bring back in because, what they did was illegal. And also... they're going after people who are American citizens because, the Trump administration doesn't give a fuck. You got brown skin, you're probably going to get deported because that means you're Hispanic, which means you're probably icky or stinky or some shit in the minds of these, like, complete, utter fascistic freaks. It's complete fucking nonsense.
Visa holders. So this so-called continuous vetting by the State Department will allow it to revoke those visas, deport people if they find evidence of potential ineligibility. So that's anything from overstays to criminal activity. And initially, Trump's immigration policies had centered around illegal migration and then expanded to include reviews of legal migration. Now, this is the latest example of that. Earlier this week.
And also, for example, to add on to this point, because again, the point is that they just want to get rid of all brown people and have a white ethno-state. Like, that's the ultimate, like, goal, obviously. RFK Jr. is working alongside with ICE and is providing the medical data of, well, not only illegal migrants who they think are within the system, which, again, like, illegal migrants are incapable of accessing social safety net programs unless there is a state local one that the federal government does not have access to the fucking information to. But they are trying to go after legal migrants because those are the only people who can use those social safety nets, specifically Medicaid, Medicare, in the case of what RFK Jr. is trying to hand over to ICE, which, by the way, violation of fucking HIPAA. You can't fucking do that. You're not allowed to do that. People are allowed to have privacy of their fucking medical records and not have, like, random security apparatchik fucking freaks go ahead and, like, comb through that in order to wait at fucking hospitals to randomly detain legal migrants. I want to reiterate that point. These are people who have already gone through the naturalization process or have become permanent residents who have access to these fucking federal social safety net programs. They are allowed to access those if they want. They are legal fucking migrants. They are citizens of the United States of America.
Week, the administration revoked more than 6,000 student visas, citing overstays and violations of the law. The administration is also pausing work visas for commercial truck.
Yeah, the violations of the law, by the way. They were doing Palestinian drum circles. You can't do that because that's anti-Semitic.
Drivers following a crash on a Florida highway that killed 3 people. So in all of this, the review of the 55 million visa holders means it's not just people who work and study here that could be affected, but also tourists as well.
Thank you, Lisa. Lisa Shing is in Washington.
Fucking tourists as well. Keep in mind, I've said this before, but literally German, not even migrants, but people who came on fucking tourist visas, Germans, Canadians, have been fucking detained by ICE and deported. Like, Canadians on fucking work visas in the U.S. have been deported, detained and deported. So much so that literally representatives from the House of Commons in Canada have been saying, do not go to the U.S. Avoid it at all fucking costs. If you are a fucking Canadian, because again, as I've said before, Canadians have been detained by ICE and have been deported by ICE, that, whoa, crazy. You shouldn't fucking go there because the stupid authoritarian shithole state that is the United States of America is just randomly going after basically anyone and everyone to fill out their little Gestapo freak quota system. Because that's the fucking point. The point is the fucking crackpot police state authoritarian bullshit. That's literally why they're doing any of this stuff. So again, with Alligator fucking Alcatraz, Auschwitz, this stuff getting shut down by this fucking judge, well, not effectively shut down. Can't expand it and have new fucking detainees in there because again, the whole basis of them actually building this facility here is illegal. They went ahead with this construction illegally because again, the Trump administration wants to throw out all fucking legal pretense because they don't actually give a fuck about fucking legal pretense. The point is the fucking cruelty with a facility like this, which has had, again, reportedly by people within the facility saying that there are maggots in the food and that they're being treated like absolute shit. And that it is incredibly noisy. They can't sleep, blah, 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 blah. They have none of their fucking rights as humans. So, as fucking expected from this shithole fucking goddamn state and dog shit fucking administration, the point is the fucking authoritarianism and is to just have people get cracked down. And yes, thank you, Alex, for saying this. Canadian tourists got detained, was offered to pay for a plane ticket and leave right away, but ICE put him in a detention center for 2 weeks. He got detained. He was arrested and detained and put into an ICE detention center. And it was a Canadian tourist. Like, it's crazy. Like, the point is the fucking fascism. This is authoritarianism. This is what it fucking looks like. Again, it's a bunch of fucking little Nazi freaks gallivanting about because the point is they just want to have a fucking white ethno-state. That's the ultimate end goal for all this. And they're doing this in the most soy fucking idiotic ways fucking possible. Where they're just trying to force it through. And a lot of people are not fucking standing for any of that shit. Which is good. People should not be fucking standing any of this shit. Because again, the basis of this is complete, utter fucking nonsense. Because again, the stupid fucking administration that is currently in power is run by a bunch of cranks and authoritarian fucking freaks. I don't think there's really much else to say besides, personally I think everyone within the fucking Trump administration should be put on trial for their fucking crimes.